That's not a good
Kenny.
idea.
Movement of the ground.
Are we ready?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw a couple of the videos.
All right, get going here. Welcome to the Town of Abingdon, Virginia Planning Commission regular meeting. We appreciate your interest and we encourage public participation in our meeting. Your comments are important to our decision-making process. Please note that there will be two opportunities during the meeting for you to address the commission members. The first will come when the chair asks for public comment not on the agenda. The second will come if there is a public hearing once the chairman declares the hearing open for comment. Anybody wishing to address the commission should come to the podium, give your first and last name, and complete physical address. Comments should be limited to 3 minutes. Roll call.
Mr. Austin?
Present.
Mr. Johnson?
Present.
Mr. Thompson?
Present.
Mr. Pennington?
Present.
Mr. Sproles?
Present.
Mr. Wilson?
Present.
And Mr. Schuman.
Present. All right, next order of business is approval of minutes. The first group of minutes is from April 28th, 2025. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes from that meeting? If not, is there a motion that the minutes be approved as submitted?
I'll move they be approved as submitted.
Second.
All right, if you would call the roll.
Mr. Austin?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. Pennington?
Aye.
Mr. Sproles?
Aye.
You'll have to abstain. You were absent that one.
That's the one.
For April?
April. For April.
I was, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I abstain.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Schuman, I have.
And I abstained because I was not at the meeting. The next minutes are from May 19, 2025, regular meeting. Is there any additions or corrections to the minutes? If not, is there a motion to approve the minutes as submitted?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, any additional discussion? If not, if you would call the roll.
Mr. Austin?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. Pennington?
Abstain. I was not present.
Mr. Sproles?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Abstain.
And Mr. Schuman.
Next group of minutes is June 23rd, 2025. I would just like to thank the minute taker for noting that my interruption of Ms. Howard was done politely. I appreciate that. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? If not, is there a motion to approve the minutes as submitted?
I'll make a motion to approve as presented.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right, any additional discussion? If not, if you would call the roll.
Mr. Austin?
Abstain as not being present.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. Pennington?
Aye.
Mr. Sproles?
Abstained as not being present.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
And Mr. Schuman.
Next order of business is public comment for items not on the agenda. Has anybody signed up to make a comment? Is there anybody in the audience that wishes to make a comment for anything not on the agenda? If not, we'll move on to the first certificate of appropriateness. Certificate of appropriateness, Stephanie Cox, 253 West Main Street, Abingdon, Virginia, 24210. Applicant, JBW Partnership et al., 19265 Triple Crown Drive, Abingdon, Virginia, 24211. Owner, Jerry Signs, Inc., 15775 Porterfield Highway, Abingdon, Virginia, 24210. Representative, certificate of appropriateness for allowance of unapproved, non-illuminated projecting wall and door signage located at 253 West Main Street, Abingdon, Virginia, parentheses, parcel 011-1-86, end parentheses. Staff report.
So Stephanie Cox, applicant, JBW Partnerships et al., owner, and Jerry Signs Incorporated representative have requested approval of a certificate of appropriateness for the installation of a non-illuminated projecting sign and the allowance of unapproved non-illuminated wall and door signs located at 253 West Main Street. Background, the boutique at Abingdon Interiors currently occupies 253 West Main Street. Staff findings, the applicant proposes and requests the allowance of a non-illuminated double-sided aluminum framed projecting sign with a pre-finished maroon background and gold lettering onto the primary south elevation above the primary entrance as shown in the rendering provided. The projecting sign measures 12 inches by 44 inches for a total area of 3.7 square feet. Per the ordinance, the bottom of the projecting sign must be at least 8 feet above the town sidewalk. An unapproved, non-illuminated, single-sided aluminum framed wall sign with a pre-finished maroon background and gold lettering attached to the east elevation of the building as shown in the rendering provided. The wall sign measures 16 inches by 38.5 inches for a total area of 4.3 square feet. An unapproved applied white vinyl graphic door sign onto the primary entrance as shown in the rendering provided. So here, there we go. This is the projecting sign. This is not there yet. This is the wall sign that has been installed. They applied for temporary signage, but then it went over the 30 days, and so this was actually going to be, they've opted for this to be their permanent sign, so that's why it's unapproved at the moment. And then this is the door sign that is in place. So these two have been installed. This one is not.
Questions?
And the applicant's here to answer any questions you may have.
What is the height above the sidewalk for the sign?
That the applicant can, they've checked that. But and then all the proposed projecting sign and unapproved wall sign meets the requirements of this district in terms of the size.
So we
and
know it's
everything.
more than 8 feet?
Should be,
8 feet
yes.
or more.
Should be, yeah.
Does the applicant wish to make a presentation? You don't have to, or you can if you want to.
I don't have really anything else to add. I don't know a whole lot about this one. I just picked up on what the project was this morning. But yeah, as Gabe said, the original
Dan,
aluminum.
If
beam
you,
Could you
was-
introduce yourself?
if you would give us your name
Sorry.
and physical address, please.
Daniel Rourke, physical address would be Jerry Signs, 15775 Porterfield Highway.
Oh, okay. Any questions? If not, is there a motion regarding the signs?
Well, I was gonna, one question, is it like, if you hit it, does it swing, or is it just?
It'll have very
Nice.
little movement. It'll be mounted on eye bolts coming down from the
Okay.
soffit.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we approve the certificate of appropriateness, as presented.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right. If you would call the roll.
Mr. Austin,
Aye.
Mr. Johnson,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson,
Aye.
Mr. Pennington,
Aye.
Mr. Sproles,
Aye.
Mr. Wilson,
Aye.
and Mr. Schuman.
Aye. Thank you. All right, the next order of business is certificate of appropriateness. Steve Croggan, 468 East Main Street, Suite 317, Abingdon, Virginia, 24210. Applicant, Johnson Center, Inc., P.O. Box 333, Abingdon, Virginia, 24212. Owner, Jerry Signs, Inc., 15775 Porterfield Highway, Abingdon, Virginia. Representative, certificate of appropriateness for the allowance of an unapproved, non-illuminated freestanding signage located at 468 East Main Street, Abingdon, Virginia, 24210, parentheses, parcel 014-6-1, end parentheses. Staff report.
So Hexa South applicant, Johnson Center Incorporated owner, and Jerry Signs Incorporated representative have requested approval of a certificate of appropriateness for the allowance of unapproved freestanding signage located at 468 East Main Street. Parcel 014-6-1 is known as the Johnson Center and contains multiple businesses. Staff findings, the applicant requests the allowance of the unapproved non-illuminated .080 aluminum freestanding sign onto the existing pre-finished black metal freestanding sign structure near the primary western entrance of the property. The unapproved freestanding sign measures 46 inches by 60 inches for a total area of 19.2 square feet. The unapproved freestanding sign has a dark green background, light green lettering, and black border as seen in the rendering provided here. A second unapproved freestanding sign was placed on the existing Johnson Center tenant pre-finished white sign structure. The unapproved freestanding sign is non-illuminated, .040 aluminum measuring 9 inches by 36 inches for a total area of 2.25 square feet. The signage has a dark green background and light green lettering, very similar to the other one. And typically, in the past, you have allowed for somebody to have a sign here and the one on the tenant sign as well. But according to our guidelines, there's only one per street frontage that is allowed as well. So in the past, you guys have allowed, or the planning commission has allowed for a sign to be here and there, but you could also choose just to have it be one or the other.
Questions?
And the applicant is here if you have any questions.
Comments?
So how they just went and put this up? Okay.
It is there. That's just their stock photos, but it is there. Both are there.
And I presume it's put up by the sign company. And the sign company is not aware they need a permit. That
They
seems
are.
really strange. That's two here tonight.
This one was my fault. I will own this one. I thought I'd done it. Remember, we started this way back in the past in like March or April. I went through with the first part of the COA, and I did not submit the sign permit with the COA at that time, so I will own that one. This was my fault.
Additional questions, comments? So both of these signs are up.
Yes, that's correct.
I did notice the one, you know, on the left when I drove by, but I'm sorry, on the right here, when I drove by the other day, but I didn't see the other ones. What does the commission want to do?
This one is the only one that has both, correct? I mean, so
Yeah, that one's not on that.
this one does not have one on the other board, correct?
No, that's
So, I mean, this is the only one that has two.
Yeah, the Premier Productions doesn't have one on the Johnson Center.
Okay.
Tenant sign, no.
Is that a whole new, like, pole and bracket, or was there something else there before?
It was all existing. Previously, it was My Country Doctor, I think, because
Yep.
we've done the same setup for him as well. We've done a hanging sign there and the framed aluminum skin on the Johnson Center sign. That's why we went back in the same that we took down.
Okay, I remember that one coming through.
What do we want to do? Is there a motion?
Does the tenant desire to leave both signs?
He would like to, yes.
I think the sign, and I'm not prejudging it, but I think the sign, the Johnson Center sign, would look a lot better if it were the same color as the other signs that are there, instead of,
The background color and stuff, so
yes,
more
sir.
consistent.
That's no issue. I can have that redone.
And I'm a little concerned that we have unapproved signs. I mean, hate to have people have to take them down and redo them, but by the same token, we do have rules and regulations that we need to abide by. But I agree with you, Mr. Austin, it would be better to be consistent.
And that would have been one of the comments that we would have made had it come before the commission.
What is your preference for color? Would you prefer like dark green text, white background? What's your preference?
That appears to be what's there. You've got dark green, and then you've also got black and white, Department of Labor and Industry.
That's fine.
So,
Tough question to answer, but I mean, wonder what the other tenants think, because if they've got two and Shamrock says, well, we'd like to have an extra one too, then where do we put theirs?
yeah, I was trying to, the lower on the left-hand side says, suites A and B, lower level. I don't know which one of those actually references, if any, of the ones that are on the main sign. If the Virginia Department of Labor is actually downstairs in Suite A, or if Abingdon Psychiatry is in Suite B. I don't know the answer to those.
So, I mean, they come to us and say, hey, we want a second sign.
Yeah.
What are you going to do at that point?
Yeah, I mean, now Premier Productions, is that their only sign?
Yeah, from what I could see on the site, yeah.
I think it's the one that hangs and then one on the chain link fence in the back, I think.
Yeah, I think because you go to lower levels, that's kind of helped direct people to
Yeah.
their building. Because if you go behind the Johnson Center, as you all know, there's other buildings back there.
Mhm.
But I think the Hexas Health is in that main storefront.
I do believe he is on the second floor of that main storefront.
If it helps to, that sign, the suite A and B might be a little old, Mr. Johnson, but to answer your question about the suite, they applied for, it was 468 East Main Street, Suite 317.
If they're on the third floor, what's the significance of the sign on the left versus the main Johnson Center sign? I mean, seemingly the pole is directing, these are the shops that are on the lower level around back.
Yeah, I think that's,
I think that's the intent of the pole.
Yeah.
But Hexas Health apparently is on the third floor.
Based on
So-
The main structure
on
Yes,
the
sir.
main
in
street.
the front.
Yes, sir.
so,
So is it they could have one or the other, or just the small one? Is that what we're saying?
You usually get one per street frontage. So typically, this would be, you'd have, like, we'd look at this as, like, you could have a front and back sign, like on the town sign, but you can't have two
So,
two separate areas in a sense.
so if the one on the Johnson Center sign went away,
Mhm.
they could technically keep
Yes,
that one, size-wise and everything.
that's correct, yes.
but if they want the one on the main sign, then that has to go away.
yeah, but
Technically,
in other words, you could have
according-
one or the other, but not both.
Which goes back to Mr. Pennington's question.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's the appropriate question. 'Cause-
Yes, I mean, what do we do at that point
Yeah.
if we've allowed one?
Yeah.
That becomes the thing, and I think that becomes the questions that we would have raised prior to submission and what was being
Well,
presented. I mean, come
That
back
and
to,
the color, I think both.
well,
If you remove the one on the Johnson Center sign and make that pole match the colors of the new sign, is that?
Well, the problem with the pole sign is, when you look at the size of that sign versus the size of the other signs, that's a significantly bigger sign than anything on the Johnson Center sign. I mean, unless that they're not to scale.
No, they are, but I will say that either one of these do meet the requirements for a freestanding sign.
Okay,
So that, yeah, so whatever one you're looking at, individually, they both meet the requirements for a freestanding sign in that
okay,
district.
individually, but not collectively.
They still could if you added them all up, because you could have 60 square feet of freestanding signage, but again, that's two signs that you're allowing.
Well, I mean, can we table it and tell them, come back and tell us which one they want? Or tell them one, or?
Yeah, you could say, you could make an emotion, either one or the other needs to be chosen, then in their sign permit, that's what they would submit in terms of their square footage.
Maybe that's a solution.
This way, they don't have to come back for another meeting.
Right.
You could just say in your motion, if that is the pleasure of the commission, is just to say you can have one, it is up to the applicant to decide which one they would like, then they don't have to come back for another meeting and wait a whole another month. So.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to present, or to approve as presented with the stipulation that they'll choose one or the other.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll
Yeah, I'll
second it.
Who was first?
Either way.
Color.
I'll go with Wilson. Okay.
Okay. There's a motion and a second. Any additional discussion?
Relative to the main sign, any reservations relative to the color and it having to match the background? And that's what we've done at having the commons and other areas.
Well, I mean, I think if you could amend the motion to say one or the other, but not both, and have a color to match the addition of the other signs on the
Johnson
on the
Center.
Johnson Center.
If that's the one that's chosen.
Right.
Yes, sir.
I'll make that amendment.
Make that amendment then. Mr. Wilson, do you amend your second?
I'll amend my second.
Any additional discussion? If not, if you would call the roll.
Mr. Austin?
Make sure that I understand. We're saying one or the other, and if they choose the smaller sign, it has to be, the background has to be changed on it, but the background does not have to be changed on the larger one. Is that what we're saying?
That's correct.
Okay,
Right.
all right, thank you.
Thank you
Aye.
for that question.
You said aye?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. Pennington?
Aye.
Mr. Sproles?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
And Mr. Schuman?
Aye. Next order of business is certificate of appropriateness, G&G Assets LLC, 21357, Azure Lane, Abingdon, Virginia, 24211. Applicant owner, Tally Sign Company, 1908 Chamberlain Avenue, Richmond, Virginia, 23222. Representative certificate of appropriateness for externally illuminated freestanding signage located at 408 East Main Street, Abingdon, Virginia, 24210, parcel Z, parentheses, parcel 014-1-11, in parentheses. Staff report.
So G&G Assets LLC, owner/applicant, and Tally Sign Company representative have requested approval of a certificate of appropriateness for the refacing of two freestanding sign panels located at 408 East Main Street. Virginia Lottery currently occupies 408 East Main Street. The applicant proposes to reface the existing externally illuminated pre-finished brown aluminum freestanding sign panels near the East Main Street entrance with externally illuminated pre-finished black aluminum panels with quarter-inch thick green and white acrylic lettering and logo as shown in the rendering provided. The proposed panels will match the existing panels' dimensions, 9 feet by 3.5 feet, for a total area of 31.5 square feet. The base of the freestanding sign will be left pre-finished brown and will not match the proposed freestanding black panels. The proposed freestanding sign meets the requirements of the zoning ordinance for parcels in the B2 district. So here's the existing sign. It's brown all around. That's what they're proposing. So it's going to be black the lettering and the color kind of stay the same. This was green before, it's just been faded out. But it's just a different shape and everything. And here's the lights for it being externally illuminated. So I did talk to the sign company just to mention, hey, you know, you're proposing that the top's going to be black, but then the bottom's going to stay brown. Planning Commission might have something to say about that. Again, that's up to the Commission's pleasure to, if you want it all to be black or you don't mind the mismatching, that's up to you to make that motion. But again, here's the existing, and then there's the proposed. If you have any questions for me, I can answer them. If not, the applicants are here to answer any questions you may have, or they can fill in anything. Sure.
This will clear it up. We don't have to make it. I'm Rebecca Salmon, the Cali Sign Company. And we are going to paint the base black to match the background of the sign. And Virginia Lottery actually does want it black.
Okay.
So they agreed to that, and we're going to do that already to match.
Any questions? Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
What's the pleasure of the commission?
I'd make a motion that we approve the certificate of appropriateness as presented with the black base noted.
Second.
All right, any additional discussion? If not, if you would call the roll.
Mr. Austin?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. Pennington?
Aye.
Mr. Sproles?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
And Mr. Schuman?
Aye. Next order of business, certificate of appropriateness, Frida DeBusk, 251 Morningside Drive, Abingdon, Virginia, 24210. Applicant owner, certificate of appropriateness for exterior changes located at 270 West Main Street, Abingdon, Virginia, 24210, parentheses, parcel 011-8-3, in parentheses. Staff report.
So they are going to be tabling this one. There's a few there's a few other items they contacted me and they need to work out and everything. So
Okay.
they're going to be coming to you at the August
Okay,
Planning Commission meeting.
so that will be tabled.
So I just need a motion.
Do what?
I just need a motion.
Motion to
Okay.
table.
Is there,
I'll second.
is that a motion, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, is there a
I'll
second?
second.
All right. Any additional discussion? If not, if you would call the roll.
Mr. Austin?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. Pennington?
Aye.
Mr. Sproles?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
And Mr. Schuman?
Next order of business, certificate of appropriateness. Kelly Garcia, 18421 John Ashley Drive, Abingdon, Virginia, 24211. Applicant, Medstream Properties LLC, 76 Peachtree Road, Suite 300, Asheville, North Carolina, 28803. Owner, certificate of appropriateness for concession window installation, externally illuminated wall signage and MEP screening located at 231 Grimsburg Drive, Abingdon, Virginia, 24210, parentheses, parcel 012-1-127, in parentheses. Staff report.
So Kelly Garcia, applicant, and Medstream Properties LLC owner have requested approval of a certificate of appropriateness for the installation of a concession window, externally illuminated wall sign, and MEP screening located at 231 Remsburg Drive. Kel's Corner currently occupies 231 Remsburg Drive, and this is the bank. When it was the bank there, this used to be the drive-through building. The applicant proposed to install a 3.5 foot by 4 foot pre-finished white aluminum concession window into the southeast elevation of the building facing Remsburg Drive. The bottom of the concession window will be 4 feet from the base of the building. So here's where it will be. Kind of there's the concession window, 4 feet above it. Second, above the proposed concession window, which is right here, the applicant proposed to install a 4 foot by 5 foot externally illuminated, there's the light, with applied vinyl graphics wall sign as shown in the rendering. The proposed wall sign location dimensions was previously approved by the Planning Commission through the Abington Comprehensive Sign Plan. So again, this is just to incorporate into this, just say their sign's already been approved through the Comprehensive Sign Plan. It's just for you, you're just seeing what it would actually look like now. Lastly, the applicant proposes to install a 4-foot tall painted white wooden picket fence around the existing HVAC and to be installed CO2 tank on the northern half of the southeast elevation. So here's the existing HVAC, and then they will be installing a CO2 tank in this approximate area as well. And so they're going to be putting a painted white wooden fence, which is typical of what we kind of have in that area too, to screen the MAP system from public view. So again, you'll have a concession window approximately here. The sign, which has already been approved through the comprehensive sign plan for the commons here, and then you'll have the white picket fencing, wooden screening the existing HVAC, and then the eventual CO2 tank that they'll be installing. And they do have building permits on file. They're just making their way through the process with Rick on those.
So
And then-
it'll be a walk-up concession window, is that
That,
correct?
and they'll also have a drive-through, I believe, on the other side. So, and the applicant's here to kind of fill in any gaps I may have missed or anything you would like to fill in. But the drive-through will be on this side, but this will also be a walk-up to the
So,
concession
so
stand.
is that one that's drive-through, is that existing now?
Mhm.
Okay.
So the lanes are there and everything, and but they're going to be using it as a drive-through as well. But the applicant's here to fill in any of those gaps.
Yeah, Kelly Garcia. But yeah, we're working on making it a drive-through again on the other side, but eventually we would like to put in a window on that side because during farmers market hours, we're closing the drive-through and it'll just be walk-up only. So there isn't extra traffic for cars there. So that's why we want to put in a concession window on that side that people can just walk up to.
Questions for Ms. Garcia?
I don't mean to be too picky, but the drawing showing the window has it on the side that's not the gable end where it is going to go.
Yes, that is my mistake. I was trying to put it all together. I should have just gotten a picture of it. But where Gabriel specified, that's where we wanted to put it.
Will there be any type of canopy over that walk-up window?
Eventually,
Yeah,
yes.
that is the plan, yeah.
Mhm.
But we have not submitted that yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an exhaust they need as well for some things that they need in there, and then a canopy, which we talked about. But because the packet already went out, then we couldn't add it to this one. So they'll be coming in August or soon, whenever they have those materials in there to finish up kind of the refurbishing of the site.
So basically, all we're approving, since the sign was approved as part of the overall property, really all we're approving is the window and the fencing around the
That's
HVAC.
correct. That's correct.
Additional questions or comments? What do we want to do?
That's fairly straightforward. I'll make a motion. We approve the COA as submitted.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
All right. Any additional discussion? If not, if you would call the roll.
Mr. Austin?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. Pennington?
Aye.
Mr. Sproles?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
And Mr. Schuman.
All right. Next order of business, old business, not on the agenda, discussion concerning Planning Commission member comprehensive plan chapter selection.
So, I'll just open it up here. So as you know, we've kind of talked about when's the appropriate time to do an update to our comprehensive sign plan. So usually it's around 5 years that you always want to do an update. We're at that 5-year mark, since the last one was done in 2020. And so we, to kind of kickstart it in a sense, asked, and it could be either just one or a couple people from the planning commission to kind of spearhead each chapter. So you would meet with the appropriate board. So let's say, for example, economic development, the planning commission member or members that want to do that chapter would meet with the EDA, economic development, and then they would kind of report back, so it's kind of their own chapter, in a sense. And we would be hiring a firm to also bring it all together. So it's a good document that we have as a base, but it just needs to be updated because, things have changed in the last 5 years. New ideas have come up, and so that's what we're looking to do. I know, Mr. Schuman, you forwarded the introduction, I believe, arts, culture, and history, and I think there was another one. But
Yeah, and I'm pretty open.
Yeah.
I think, one thing I would say, and I think, Scott, your term ends about the same time mine ends. That would, losing 2 planning commission members during doing the comprehensive plan is going to be, I think, a challenge because some experience with having done those is worthwhile. And I think, there have been some changes in the past 5 years that really do require us to put some time in. When you look at in the past 5 years, what's going on with William King and the amount of that they have gotten, the development of the sports complex, just the growth of different areas of the town, and one of the issues that we had a few years ago that was unfortunately, and I was on the commission then, so I'll take some blame, is we really made a mistake in not showing the Meadows area as slated for development because there was a lot of discussion prior to the Meadows development about developing that area, and it did not show as an area for development in the last comprehensive plan. So, when you're starting to look at areas to develop and infrastructure that you're going to want to develop, that's particularly important as a guide. It's it's a living document. You can change it, but it certainly, if it's not done well, certainly puts the pressure on the town council, which we would not want to do. And I just say that as an idea. I think, what's your timeline for finishing the project?
So we would want to get it done probably within a year or so in terms of everything, maybe a year and a half. It really depends on the RFP when we put it on, the firms that we feel are the best for it. Because in this budget season, we did budget out for it to be part of our budget to hire a firm to undertake this update. And so we would put out an RFP and see what their timelines were proposed. Some I've seen propose 6 months, some propose a year and a half. Kind of depends on who you get and how detailed they want to be. I don't think it would take an extraordinary amount of time because it is just an update. We have a good base, but again, you want to make sure you hire somebody that's going to take the time and effort, which we would make sure, when we're going through the evaluation, that we get somebody like that.
What
But
was the name of the firm that we hired last time?
for this one, I know the Berkeley Group did our.
Yeah. What was that name?
The Berkeley Group did our zoning update, but
That's what I'm thinking about.
I don't see anything about who did this one. I can look into it, but I'm just seeing comprehensive plan steering committee, and that was a combination of staff and local stakeholders that kind of put it together.
Now, the last one was done, the 2020 one, I think was done with a vendor. The one prior to that was not.
Okay. Yeah, for some reason they didn't put
And
their.
that was very problematic to have done it without a vendor. Again, I was involved in that, so I'm not trying to blame somebody else, but I think having a vendor is very important.
Yeah. And they would be heading up the project, so coordinating with us and, the planning commission members as well. But the goal I was looking for, each of you would have your own, or you could have, or multiple people if you're really interested in 2 topics. 2 people can be on that chapter, and it'd be their kind of chapter that they would spearhead, and they would meet with the different boards, commissions, stakeholders, or whatever, and the firm, whoever we decide, and then they would come and report back to the planning commission during our regular meetings and say, hey, you know, we're gonna go over chapter, you know, we're gonna go over the transportation chapter. Here's what we talked about in one of our meetings with so-and-so. And so, just kind of going through them here, we've got introduction, people, neighborhoods and land use, transportation, economic development, parks, recreation and open use, arts, culture and history, tourism, environmental and quality of life, public utilities, facilities and services, and then we're thinking about maybe a downtown specific section.
That's a good idea.
So we're looking at other avenues of funding for that one that we can maybe get to for that specific chapter. So that would be a whole rewrite, but the ones that are existing is from introduction to public utilities, facilities, and services. At the moment, is there anybody here tonight? Again, you can think about some more. I'm just kind of kickstarting to here so we can start drafting the RFP and kind of get that part of it rolling. Is there anybody here that really likes one specific chapter that they would like to be part of that, or if there's multiple? I can kind of jot it down now.
What I'm going to suggest is that prior to the next planning commission meeting, the members of the commission review the current comprehensive plan and get back to Gabe with areas they would like to be involved in. I've done that. And then I think we ought to, at the next, make those assignments at the next planning commission meeting so we can start to take a look at that. And I think just the idea of what the, how we would approach that so we're all doing basically the same thing.
Yep, and like the overall goal is to, you guys would have your meeting with the people of that specific one, and then you come back and kind of report to the other members that are maybe not on the commission. Then in that regular meeting, the other planning commission members could suggest, have you looked at this, have you looked at that? So everybody's involved in a sense, but it gives that one specific member or those two to really focus on that one chapter instead of spreading everybody a little bit thin, and then you're trying to look at everything. So.
I was going to say, I don't know if you're aware, but Wellspring is paying for that big comprehensive sewer study countywide, and that will also cover economic development for every locale in the county, and so that might be a good thing to draw from information from that study.
And also,
that's being procured right now, so
yeah,
should be underway in September.
Yeah, and part of our thing would be sharing, this and we would kind of search for any other studies that are currently being done or are done recently that can be implemented into this. And again, the comprehensive plan is not to be like, oh, we're going to do this project in 2027. It's just supposed to be a guiding principle about, we're looking to, preserve the history, promote the arts, increase our affordable housing, that kind of stuff. It's just supposed to be a guiding principle document, not like here's the projects we're going to do in the next 5 years, because
now some of those at least had action items.
Yeah.
And I think you want to continue to have at least, but again, timelines you don't have. If you go back and look, and I can't remember which one it was before, some of the things that have happened was maintain the hospital in town. Different things that you can't control that have changed. I think one of the things is, and I say this about the introduction, but also each one, it kind of lays out what the town is looking to do and what the town wants to be. One of the things that I think would be important too is once we decide that, it would be good to go to some of the different civic clubs, Rotary, Kiwanis, people like that, and start to talk about what the project is and what the timeline is to complete it and how people can be involved if they choose to be.
Yeah, and obviously during those meetings, we would have on the agenda, discussion about, let's just say it's the transportation chapter that time, reporting from, let's just say Mr. Wilson, Mr. Pennington, let's just get through it. They would report and then people could attend the meeting to know what was talked about in those kind of discussions and everything.
So is everybody okay with getting back to Gabe between now and the next meeting with their choices on the different chapters they would like to be involved in.
You can
Like I
put
say,
me on
I've
economic
done that,
development.
but I think,
You can put me on economic development.
Can you send that list out to each of us?
Yeah, I'll send the list out, and like I said, you can either email me separately, or we can just wait till the, next meeting, and we can go over it.
Or some of the engineering aspects.
Just picking one, man.
It's a, you're multifaceted, buddy.
Yeah, but like, we can either have one or two, it's when we kinda get three, that's when it starts to be, three are in the same room, but if we keep it at least, two's the max for each one, or if we just have one, that's fine too, and we're in a good spot, but that was kind of my thinking is, you guys would have your own individual chapters you could spearhead and meet with each group, because it's gonna be a lot involved, and then, at the end, we hopefully have a great document where we can plan out the next 5 years.
well, and again, I think the more we advertise it, the more we avoid issues like what happened with the Meadows.
Yeah. And that would be part
But,
of
I
the,
mean, your point is a very, very valid point in that we have to have guidance and insight from the town as to what is the town marketing towards. Are we marketing towards a historic town, wanting to preserve this, or tell us what the goal is? Because that's how the comprehensive plan plays into it.
Well, the introduction, and I say this because this was a fairly lengthy discussion previously, is your introduction is going to say, for example, at one time, because there was a lot of discussion about, the town being historic and wanting tourism, and at one time leaving out the idea that you want a certain amount of economic development. You've got to have a certain number of businesses, offices, and that type of thing. And we are a regional area for that type of situation, whether it be the federal court or the different areas that we're looking at in terms of, Wi-Fi and infrastructure for regional offices, that type of thing. I mean, those are things that we're going to decide, that, and the town would have input into that. But it's difficult because you're putting a lot of different things together. Yeah, you want to keep your historical preservation, and you want to certainly make it a town that tourists want to go to. But at some point, you also have to have businesses support that. And I mean, it's kind of a high wire act to some extent. But
Well, Abingdon in its history has been a service industry. I mean, that's whether it's legal,
right.
whether it's medical, what have you. From a manufacturing standpoint, businesses around here, it's extremely difficult to do business in this area. Drawing employees, affordable housing, that's one Wellspring's focus. Our employees are from Castlewood, Lebanon, and what have you, because they can't afford to live locally.
And see, and I had the same experience with the people that worked for me, with the office that I ran, is that we had, maybe I might have been the only person in the office that lived in the town limits, maybe one other. But, that's, you're going to end up with a certain amount of that. And the other thing is, I think at one time people talked about manufacturing within the town limits, and that's probably going to be limited. I mean, if that's, there's no place for it. And,
No.
Sure. Even if you just look at the zoning overlay.
Yeah.
I mean, there's very few parcels that fall into that.
But when you start to, to make clear that you're looking at trying to attract other service-type industries, the business that I was in, we were third-party administrators for workers' comp and general liability claims, and pretty much nobody ever knew we were here. We had 20 employees and served people across the state of Virginia and Tennessee. And those are the types of things you want to know about and try to attract people, because one thing is there's a lot of empty office space in town. So if that's your goal, that's that's what this plan is for. Because then if the town wants to do anything in terms of, enticements, the plan will tell you that that might be something that would be appropriate, and it just doesn't come out of the blue, and I think that's what we're trying to get to.
Yeah, I'll send out that list, to you, and then either you can, if you really are dead set on one after, you can email me and say, hey, I wanna be on this one, or if you wanna wait till the next plan commission meeting, that's fine too, and we can kinda rattle off the list.
All right.
Other than that, that's all I got for you, so.
With that, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll move that we adjourn.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We attracted some business at one time.